Bonesaw is ready. Sorry. Anytime I think of wrestling, I just think of Macho Man Randy Savage and Spider-Man 1 as Bonesaw. That's the extent of my wrestling knowledge. But yeah. Anyways, Glow. Hey everyone, welcome to another review, and welcome to a TV review of the TV show Glow. Yes, this show stars Alison, Brie, yes, Annie from Community, is now in a new Netflix original series, and the creators of the show is Liz Flahive and Carly Mensch, creators I'm not very familiar with, but yeah, this is a new Netflix show about female wrestling. The story of the show is about a girl named Ruth, and basically she wants to be a serious actress, but she can't get any roles, especially proper roles for women, but she finds out about this new audition for this new TV show, and it's a TV show about female wrestling, and basically she ends up doing it, and sometimes it comes off very demeaning to women, but she wants to do it because she needs to do an acting job to have a steady paycheck and stuff, and yeah, that's basically the gist of the story, and it's also about her starting off as a pretty likable character, but she ends up sleeping with her best friend's husband. Then that marriage breaks up, and that best friend also joins this wrestling team who's part of this TV show and stuff, and yeah, it's basically about all these characters and the director who's this like Hollywood hack, and now he's directing this new TV show just so he can get his name back in Hollywood and stuff, and he's like this coked out old director, and it's all about these other female wrestlers. Some of them are actually wrestlers, and some of them are just actresses that need to do a good part for a TV show, and yeah. Basically, that's the gist of the story. It's about female wrestlers, it's about female actresses doing a show about wrestling and stuff. So yeah, it's a show about a show. It's a show about female actresses being wrestlers. Yeah, that's the gist of this show called Glow, and the show is called Glow. What's the name of the show that they're doing about the female wrestlers? Called Glow, and yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is the show, the new Netflix original comedy Glow, and yeah, how is it? It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's a very good show. I actually didn't know much about the show going into it. Didn't see any previews or trailers and stuff. I just stumbled upon it a couple days ago on Netflix, and I just binge watched all 10 episodes, and each episode's about 30 minutes, so it was a pretty easy binge. It was like 5 hours, and that's it. And yeah, it's a pretty good show. There's some really good stuff in it. Alison Brie's in it. She's very good. Not the most likable character, but not a lot of characters in the show are very likable, but yeah, she's good in the show. She was great in Community. I loved her in Community, and she was good in this show. And actor Marc Maron is the guy who plays the director of the show. He's good in the show as well. Again, not the most likable character. And yeah, I'm not very familiar about wrestling and stuff. I never really was a big wrestling fan. I don't know much about wrestling. I watched a little wrestling, like I watched a little WWF when I was a kid, but I played more wrestling video games when I was younger than actually watching wrestling. So again, I don't know how accurate the show is to wrestling, because I don't know really much about wrestling. I haven't even seen a lot of movies about wrestling. I've seen The Wrestler with Darren Aronofsky. That's a great film. I've seen Ready to Rumble with David Arquette, a really stupid film, but kind of funny. So yeah, I haven't really watched any shows about wrestling. I know there are shows about wrestling, but I've never really watched any. And I've barely seen a lot of movies about wrestling, so I'm not very familiar with wrestling. So yeah, I don't know much about wrestling, so I don't know how accurate the show is, but for what it is pretty darn good. It is very funny. It is a dark comedy show, and there is a lot of funny stuff in this, and every episode I was laughing a lot. And yeah, again, the performances by everyone is really good. The cast in this show is all really solid, especially Alison Brie. She is actually really solid in the show, and yeah, it was really cool to see Fez from Veronica Mars was in the show as the douchey producer. That was pretty funny to watch, and yeah. Again, it's a funny wrestling show with a female cast set in the 1980s, and yeah, I loved how they transport you to the 80s. The style of this feels really cool. You feel like you're in the 1980s with all these characters, and this show also has a really kick-ass soundtrack. Yeah, again, it feels like you're watching an 80s movie or an 80s television show, and yeah, it really transports you to the era. And it was really cool, and yeah, again, I was pretty invested with the story, and I did want to see where this story was going, and yeah, it was a pretty easy and pretty fast binge, and I did have a lot of fun with it. However, again, like I said, it's not a great show. It is a very good show that I did enjoy, but my problems is it's very unlikable. Again, the characters in the show, the character Ruth, the main character, is likable at first, but then she does a very despicable thing at the beginning of the series, and yeah, she still has more likable traits than most characters, but again, most characters are really unlikable. The director in this show, even though he has a pretty good character arc, he's a very despicable character. Almost every character is very despicable in the show, and it was hard to get attached to them and actually care for them. So many of them are very, very unlikable. There's a few characters now and then that are pretty likable and pretty enjoyable to watch, but most characters in this show are really, really unlikable, but that's just showing you like the realism of Hollywood and stuff. They're all just selfish assholes and stuff, and a lot of characters were pretty unlikable to watch, and like if these characters were real people, I would never go near them and ever be friends with any of them. So yeah, that was a big issue with mine. And like if they were like funny unlikable like Seinfeld, it would have been a little better, but no, the movie tries to make you feel really deep sympathy for a lot of these characters, and it was really hard for me to feel sorry for them because I hated them so much, and they were just so unlikable and making such horrible decisions. So yeah, it was hard to feel bad for some of them because how unlikable they are. And again, the show isn't very memorable as well. Like, I don't remember many characters' names and stuff, except for the character Ruth, because she's the lead character, but I don't even remember a lot of the actresses' names in the show. I don't remember a lot of their names and stuff, and the reason for that is because it's not very memorable, the show. Again, this is a very good show with some good writing, very good performances, and a lot of great comedy. There's a lot of big laughs in this show, but it's not very memorable. And like 6 months from now, I'll just remember this show as that funny female comedy show with Alison Brie. That's all I really remember from it. It's not a very memorable show. Again, because I didn't get attached to the characters really well. I wasn't really invested with the story that much. Again, because wrestling's not a big thing for me and stuff. And again, the characters I didn't feel any connection to the characters in the story. So that's why it didn't come out very memorable to me. So yeah, those are two very big flaws I have with the show. It's not memorable and it's not very likable. Other than that, it's still very good, well directed, well paced, well written, and it's very, very funny, but it just didn't really have that connection with me. And yeah, it's not a show that'll go as like the best of the year and stuff, but it is a show I can recommend. If you like a lot of like crude, raunchy comedy shows, even though there are better crude, raunchy comedy shows on television like Silicon Valley or the show Love, which are funnier shows, and Master of None, those are all much funnier shows, but again, if you see this on Netflix and you think it looks funny, yeah, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this. This show is kind of like Whip It, the Ellen Page movie. It's like Whip It meets Boogie Nights. Except there's no porn and it's not about roller derby, it's about wrestling. But it's sort of the same tone and comedy as Boogie Nights, and it's sort of the same storyline as Whip It. But again, those movies are better than this show. Like, Whip It's better, and Boogie Nights is better than this show, but that's what I kind of compare this show to. It's Whip It meets Boogie Nights, and yeah, again, if that sounds really interesting to you, then I highly recommend it, because honestly, this is a very good show, and I did have a lot of fun with it, but again, it just didn't have that connection with me. So yeah, I'd recommend it, but it's definitely not a great show. But yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the TV show Glow a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, if you see it on Netflix one day, check it out. You might have fun with it. So yeah, that was my review for the TV show Glow. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your favorite movie or TV show about wrestling? Yes, favorite show or favorite movie about wrestling. Mine's The Wrestler, directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Mickey Rourke, Marissa Tomei, and Evan Rachel Wood. Great film. But yeah, what is your favorite movie or show about wrestling? Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.